I guarantee you this day is going to rock your world. Especially when you are fueling your passion. Hello, I'm Randy Thomas, the founder and executive producer of Voiceover Mastery. It's the 63rd Annual Tony Awards. Please welcome John Mayer. It's year 3 and we've come a long way. After 2 years in Fort Myers, the Sportsmen's Lodge in Studio City, California will serve as the perfect backdrop for what promises to be the most transformative and entertaining VOMastery experience ever. A one-day event that will inspire you to take your voiceover career to the next level and beyond. Once again, we've handpicked this year's lineup of special guests and presenters just for you.
So much of my work as a voice actor is doubling celebrities when they're not available.
Ladies and gentlemen, your host for tonight's Emmys, Jimmy Kimmel.
He's not naughty. He's just a baby. Come a little closer, and I'll give you a nice big kiss. I'm all about big hair, big shoes, and big attitude.
Hello, I'm Jess Honnell, and I play Cedric on Sophia the First, and we're here at the red carpet.
A fabulous who's who list representing some of the world's most successful voiceover performers and industry experts.
Please welcome the 44th President of the United States of America, Barack Obama.
Join us for one magical day that you must be a part of. It's an incredible lineup of top voice industry professionals, coaches, experts, and mentors. There's a limited number of seats, so make sure to reserve yours now. Finally, VOMastery comes to Southern California, Friday, November 11th at the Sportsmen's Lodge Hotel in Studio City, California. And it won't be the same without you.
You see all these pros in the business who give you the helpful tips.
And all the pros that you have instant access to, and their ability and willingness to provide additional information to help your career grow.
There's people from all over the world here in the voiceover business.
Gather knowledge, gain confidence, be inspired. Let your talent move you forward. Use your voice. Live your dream. See you there and break a lip. We have a Thursday night thing happening that we haven't really talked about. We have just over 100 seats for VOMastery on Friday, 11/11. Of these attendees, only 20 can sign up for the Thursday night special broadcast. It's not a broadcast, the special workshop that we're doing. The event takes place in Studio City at the Sportsman's Lodge Hotel, which is Ventura and Coldwater Canyon. The studio we're using is just a few doors over. It's called Media City Sound. When I lived here in Los Angeles 14 years ago, I was actually teaching. I hadn't written my book, voiceover voice for hire yet, but I was teaching and I was using Media City Sound as my studio, so it was great to reach out to those guys. They have a studio facility big enough to handle 20 voice actors that want to really take their craft to another level, because we're going to be working in the booths. Melissa Disney is going to be doing character acting for animation and commercials and talking about live announce with me. Also, we have one of LA's top voiceover agents. I'm not allowed to say who it is. I can't even tell you what agency they're from. But if you know me, you can probably imagine that they're one of the top agents in the biz, hands down, and that's who I've got teaching a very special Thursday night class, along with Kathleen Ronald, who is that business growth expert, and she speaks to the fact that if you're not organized, you lose money every day. So she has a program called Clutternomics, and I think it's perfect for those of us that tend to be more right-brained. So, all right, so that's the lineup. We are going to be speaking to you live every week from now until the first week of November, talking about VOMastery. We have special guests scheduled every week. In fact, Debbie Derryberry, the voice of Jimmy Neutron, will be here in my home studio, and we'll broadcast and have a conversation with you next Friday. It's absolutely free. You can ask your questions. In fact, if you have any questions right now, why don't you go ahead and send them. Shovita, who is my event director, at this point, she's actually part of me. She's my right hand. I don't know if I could do what I'm doing without Shovita. So if you want to send any questions, in the meantime, let's play the call that we had with Melissa Disney just an hour ago. We have Melissa Disney on the phone, and we are talking about her son, Ryder, who I think was 2 when we recorded that funny video for VOMastery 2 years ago.
Yeah, he probably was.
That's right. So, hey, Melissa Disney James.
Hey, Randy Thomas, how you doing?
I noticed that you have added James to your last name.
I did for my Facebook page, and it's still Melissa Disney for all things.
Okay, got it.
Industry, but
I love that because I know you guys have been married a while and you have a 4-year-old son, and I thought that's just so cool because I am Randy Thomas Wall when I'm Rachel Wall's mother. But I haven't added that name on my social media. So now you're going to make me look bad to my husband.
No,
I'm just saying.
I'm trying to do something differently in the social media world. I have a friend who's trying to help me with it. And so we're getting a new Facebook page that's going to be more the business page. And that's going to be just Melissa Disney. And then the personal one is Melissa Disney James.
Right.
So,
it's so interesting how we have to think about these things as voiceover professionals. You're an actor, your husband is a writer and a director, and you're a singer. And so we have all these, we compartmentalize our life, and then we have to think about how we want the world to see that part of us, that we're presenting.
And you know what? Many years ago, we never thought about any of this stuff.
So true.
I was using tapes. Were you around in the reel-to-reel?
Of course. Listen, I was a DJ and I had to do my own production, so we would physically edit our audio tapes, those reel-to-reels. You'd have to put it on with the razor blade and slice it and splice it, and so yeah, I'm old school, and the digital thing is lots of fun. I want to talk to you. I know you've got to go because it's dinner time in the Disney James household, but what I'm going to ask you is to tell us 2 things. We're going to talk about VOMastery, but between now and when we see you in November, you have some very cool stuff going on. Tell us about the Comeback Kid and the incredible reception you and Ryan have had for this series that Ryan wrote and created.
Oh, yeah, it's so exciting. He wrote a TV pilot, and then he wrote what's called the Bible for it. So he has up to 4 years of outlines for all the shows, and we do a lot of these film festivals and have had different pitch meetings, different places, and it's a really cool show about really centers around these 2 guys that were child actor stars, and now they're trying to make a comeback and trying to get back into the business, and their children are actually in the business, and their parents have grown up with it like they have, and there's a child actor support group, and it's a really, really funny thing, and we're actually using people who were child actors who are now still acting, and it's an amazing community of people we have become really close friends with. And
right.
I got to play this he wrote me this part, which honestly I was supposed to play something totally different, but I was like, Dave, I want to play the crazy girl. Like I want to be the Uber fan. So I'm playing Debbie from Tarzana, and that's how I say my name. And I'm an Uber stalking fan, and I have a song in it, and I won an award at one of these festivals for my music too.
Wow.
Which was so exciting. Yeah. So we're going to, long story short, we're going to the ITV Fest in October that's taking place in Vermont, and we have meetings set up with some agents and people. So we'll see. You know,
Very
this thing
exciting.
goes fantastic.
Very exciting. I know you're shooting something in New York, so your career, and you did the Emmys. What a great job you did a week ago, Melissa Disney.
Thank you. I know you know what it's like.
Was it fun?
It was great. It was really great. High intensity, and you never know what's going to happen, and things always happen last minute, and you just got to stay on your toes.
Right, exactly. So Melissa Disney will be a part of Voiceover Mastery on November 11th at the Sportsman's Lodge Hotel in Studio City. And on Thursday night, only 20 will be allowed to study on Thursday night with both you, an agent from a top LA agency, and this gal, Kathleen Ronald, who you're going to love, Melissa, who is a business growth expert, and she's all about clearing your way to success, that if you're not decluttered and organized, it will literally cost you on so many levels, especially in our industry where, we're a one-man band. Even if we have agents, we still have to do so much on our own. So anyway, so that's Thursday night. Then Friday, Melissa will be a part of a live announce panel with Joe Cipriano, Sylvia Viagran, Melissa Disney, and myself. And then later we have a superstar animation panel. And for those of you that have followed Melissa's career, one of the great characters she is known for is Ginger Foutley, as told by Ginger, which my daughter, who's now 19, we grew up with that show. So
We did.
yeah, really good times.
I love Ginger. Favorite parts.
And so we have a superstar animation panel, E.G. Daly, Tara Strong, Melissa Disney, Debbie Derryberry, David Kay, and I have one more person that we'll be adding that I hasn't been able to confirm just yet. But that's going to be a Q&A in the afternoon. And then at the cocktail party in the Zen Garden at the Sportsman's Lodge, Melissa is going to sing a couple of songs. And you did that 2 years ago from your Love album, which we still love. So I hope you'll at least be doing a song or two from there.
Oh, yeah. Of course I will. I might even do a comedy song. I don't know. We'll see what the spirit leads.
whatever strikes you. All right. Well, thank you for your time. Love talking to you. Have a great trip with your husband, and give Ryder a big hug, and we will see you soon.
Sounds great.
All
Thanks,
right.
Randy.
Take care. Bye, Melissa.
Bye, hon.
All right, there you go. That was the Melissa Disney call. She is such a great gal, super strong in her faith. And I think that if you got to know Melissa, and, no one's life is perfect. She has a pretty darn amazing life. But, even if things don't happen to you, it happens to people around you. And those that seem to have the most faith, regardless of what faith you practice, are the people that somehow are always the calm in the storm, and she has been a class act throughout her career. So I'm really excited she decided to come back for this year's Voiceover Mastery. She'll be making 4 appearances, Thursday night on 2 different panels on Friday, and she'll sing Friday night at the cocktail party. So that's exciting. So, Shovita, we have a little less than 29 minutes left in our webinar here. Do we have, and I can't see who's on the line, do we have any questions? We can't put calls through. Is that correct, Shovita?
Well, hello everyone. Yes, we actually have a few questions from our webinar attendees, and I also noticed that we have our GVAA partner David Rosenthal on the line. So I'm going to try to bring him in now. Let's see if David, are you with us? Hey David, are you there? Can you hear us? Oh, right. We'll wait just a moment for David to join us. But Rand, how about we go ahead and hop right into some of our Q&A? So I've got one here from an attendee who's just getting started, and they're wondering, what training tips do you have to offer to help them get their foot in the door?
What training tips? Well,
what tips would you recommend to help get your foot in the door?
Feedback on your computer. So you'll just mute your computer and listen through your headsets. That'll help. Great. So training is incredibly available. That's the amazing thing about VoiceOver today, that there are so many levels of training. And I say study with as many coaches as you can. Read as much as you can. Go to VO Buzz Weekly and look at their incredible library of videos of who they have had conversations with. And, you know, my husband has a great expression, experience is cheapest if you're smart enough to get it secondhand. So I love the VO Buzz videos because it's really a chance where they go one-on-one and talk to an artist, and they really drill down how they did it. They spend an entire hour or longer sometimes talking to them about their careers. So I think that if you can learn by watching a video, reading some of the great books that are out there, not just Voice for Hire, there are all kinds of books available by many coaches. Debbie Derryberry just wrote a book. We're going to be giving away a number of her books, by the way, which will happen at VOMastery, because we're buying a bunch from her and we're making her sign them, and then if you win them or if you buy them, she'll personalize it to you at the VOMastery event. So I say read everything you can, listen to everything you can, and then practice. If you are someone that enjoys sitting at home and recording copy that either you have taken it down from watching television and you're watching TV shows, and so you're copying down what you want to say from other commercials or promos or whatever, I would say that's a great thing to do. But then if you have the ability wherever you are to read to the blind, I always say call your local public television station and find out where you can go to read to the blind or for the blind. They generally record you reading things. So, and that's an opportunity to perform. So these are all good things. And the fact that you're asking the question means that you're curious. So good for you. Right.
Love that. And I'm curious to know what David, he's on the line now, what David would recommend, any training or tips that he would recommend for someone new who's in this business getting started.
Yay. Hi, David.
Hello.
Excellent. So, Shovita, you're going to have to mute your end because I do hear your keystrokes sometimes. But David, this is different from Zoom that you and GVAA and VO Peeps and WOVO tend to do. We're just using GoToWebinar. What's your assessment of how to do these things?
How to do webinars through GoToMeeting?
Yeah, like we chose GoToWebinar because we felt ours is more primarily audio-based. Yours is on camera with 19 cameras and people all over the country. It's certainly visually more stimulating.
Yeah, actually, GoToMeeting works. Can work. It's I consider it to be more appropriate for a corporate business type of setting where you're basically having one presenter with maybe some Q&A being fielded by another person, and then having either a keynote or a PowerPoint. But Zoom actually works incredibly well in the same way. I think it works on multi-frames and multi-platforms and has the ability to be there for both video and audio. So yeah, it's a matter of, like, if I'm coming in right now, I'm coming in off of not as a presenter, but just as an audience member. So that's why I needed to be unmuted, because you have the power and I don't.
Right. Well, Shovita has the power. I don't have it either.
Shovita has the power.
So, David, first of all, it's so nice to finally have a conversation with you one-on-one, even though we have all these folks listening. I read about you, I looked at your bio, I know that you're the CEO for GVAA, but I didn't know too much about you before we decided to get together and work together on VOMastery. So will you tell me a little bit about you? And I know that you're in the Bay Area and you're certainly a well-respected coach, and I imagine you started as a voiceover actor. Can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, certainly. Well, I actually still am a voice actor and have been for 30 years. I don't.
Oh, is that all?
Yeah, right. And like many other people up in the Bay Area, we just do our thing. I mean, we may have thousands of jobs under our belt, but it's work, you know. Um, so while there may be a little bit more celebrity down in LA because that's part of the industry, we get a ton of work up here, and it's fun and enjoyable. And so, you know, if I'm doing, you know, if I'm on my, you know, 80th video game, or if I'm, you know, do cartoons here and there, or if I do tons of commercial work and stuff, it's just work. It's work to me. I mean, it's playful work. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, I mean, it's just a different feel for up here. I like it up here. It's sane.
What are you saying?
Yeah, and you can, you know, you can do your work, and you can enjoy your work without a lot of foo-fara. I had a friend of mine recently who was a movie celebrity type movie person, who I won't name, who at my age now is finding that he cannot get work as a movie star anymore.
Sure.
And it's hard. And so he, you know, we were talking the other day, and he said, "You're so lucky, Dave." And I said, "Why?" He said, "Well, because you get to still practice your craft all the time, and I don't." And he said, "You know, there's something about flying under the radar that makes a whole lot of sense." I said, "Yeah, tell me that after you know, you go to your 5 houses and your, you know, your cattle ranch and all this stuff.
It's
tell me
true. We can continue to work longer, but it doesn't mean that we're getting the kind of money that those guys get in a shorter amount of time.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So, but at the same time, I do kind of understand what he's saying. I love what I'm doing. I love that I'm still being able to do what I'm doing, and probably will be, you know, until I decide I don't want to anymore, which is out of his hands.
You know, it's so true, because today in life, really, anytime that you have choices, that's a great thing. And that we choose to do this business is amazing. And that's why I understand why GVAA is an online global academy, because you kind of live the life that I had in Fort Myers. A lot of the voice actors down there, Brian Lee, Chris Corley, you know, we work out of Fort Myers, and we live in our house, and we're kind of chained to our studios. I think that's the fun part for me about being back in Los Angeles, that now all of us do have a booth in our homes, but I enjoy now being able to go to a studio and, you know, have to show up for meetings and interact with people, you know, because
definitely. And actually, Randy, that is one of the main reasons for Global Voice Acting Academy for its existence. When everything went on, you know, when everything went onto the internet, and everything did become auditioning and voicing out of one's home, so many people lost that sense of community, that sense of voiceover community that I loved and loved sharing with so many people. That didn't go away in LA because, you know, it's the seat of so much, and particularly, you know, character and animation, where they still have everybody come on down, you know, to the studio at the same time, and you're riffing off of each other. I used to do all that all the time up here, both for commercial work. There used to be a lot more commercial work where you had 2 and 3 and 4 and sometimes even 5 people just riffing on a commercial script and actually doing it all at the same time. And same for video game work in the very beginning. We had people working off of each other at the same time. It was just incredible. It was a great community. So when that left, Christina and I, you know, felt that. We felt like, oh man, where did that go? And so we realized, well, it's actually still there. It's all over the place. And if we can just gather all those people from all over the world, then it can be quite a wonderful thing. And so, you know, when you're teaching, like I am, when I'm coaching a character class online, and I have to stop and I just have to say, look at, you know, I have about 8 people in the class, and I'm looking at people who are in Italy and the UK and Canada and all over the United States, and I'm going, look at this, guys. this is pretty impressive. This is pretty
Yeah.
cool. We're all applying our craft, doing this wonderful work, bringing lots of joy and excitement to our, our craft, and we're doing it right now, all together from all over the world. So
It's true, and in a way, I mean, the benefit is to the end user at home that gets a chance to tap into these kinds of resources, because all of a sudden you have voice actors, especially across America, but all over the world, truthfully, that are on the same page as actors that have been doing it their whole lives in Los Angeles, New York, or Northern California, or Chicago, wherever these little hubs have been throughout the over the years, for the industry. And now, just by virtue of tapping into a global community of voice actors and coaches, you really are able to take your game way up where you couldn't have before. Like when I first started learning voiceover, I did it because I was living in Los Angeles. It was 1986, and I would go to classes, and finally it was like around 1989 I did my first big commercial. I'm sure you've heard of it, David.
Oh, I have.
Which one do you think I'm going to talk about?
I don't know. You have so many.
Yes, Hooked on Phonics. Call 1-800-ABCDEFG. So
there it is.
That was my first voiceover here in Los Angeles, and that actually was an incredible account for me, because I was just a DJ at the time. Just a DJ. I wasn't doing, I wanted to be an actress, never could make it as an on-camera actress. Had a great life as a DJ, as a broadcaster, doing morning radio in Los Angeles on 94.7 The Wave in the early 90s. I really got to all the places I wanted to be in broadcasting. But then when I got tapped to do the Oscars, it just took me to another level. But that was all after the Hooked on Phonics thing. So I started with that. Then I was still on the radio. Academy Awards tapped me to become their first female announcer, and everything changed. It's like, this is kind of a magical place, because this is Los Angeles is where dreams really can come true, because you have to put in the time, the hard work, pound the pavement, put the miles on your car, whatever kind of car you can afford to drive when you get here. And we all put our time in. And luckily for me, I got to leave Los Angeles when it became a digital world in 2003. We moved away, and so I was able to work from Florida all these years. And most people, because I kept my 818 cell phone, most people didn't even know that I wasn't living here. So
exactly.
Yeah, it's a digital world.
And these days, one of the nice things is that voice talent in Des Moines and Omaha and St. Louis and Detroit, they can all participate in that community.
Yeah.
And that's so exciting to me, because before they had a really hard time of it. I mean, if you weren't in one of the major voiceover hubs, what are you going to do? You know?
You were SOL. True.
Right. Yeah.
Absolutely. You're like, you're out.
Right. So
But not anymore.
Not anymore. And we're all about creating that community and sharing our knowledge, and I'm just really excited that we're going to be able to do it live and in person with VOMastery too.
I know. I feel like I had to twist yours and Christina's arm a little bit, because you're like, look, we're digital. We're, we don't really do these things. And I'm like, trust me, people want to, shake your hand and get a FaceTime with you, a true FaceTime. And I think it's a terrific opportunity, because your global community is certainly growing. I know we have numerous voice actors coming from overseas, and and a lot from across the country. It's been such a blessing being in Fort Myers, because I was in this tiny little town that is not much different from a lot of the markets where voice talent today come from. And I was in Florida, and really the reason I started VOMastery was because I was lonely on the Gulf Coast of Florida. I had to go to LA and New York to get my friends to show up, and so now when I started this in Florida, I was able to bring Joe Cipriano and Melissa Disney and David Lyerly and different people from around the country, Carol Monda, Peter Rofe, they all came to Voiceover Mastery, and George Whittam, and it was a tremendous success in Florida. But now it's really going to be a local thing here in Fort Myers. By the way, those of you that are tuned in that are in Florida, I am going to do a special thing in Fort Myers, back at the Sidney and Vern Davis Arts Center, that will have, so VOMastery right now, we're in LA, but we're not going to forget where we came from. I think that's what people are afraid of. Like, remember us.
Got to keep your roots, girl.
You do. Where were you born? Were you born in Northern California?
I was not. I grew up on the East Coast, Washington, D.C. area, and then New York City, and then finally San Francisco.
Yeah, I love San Francisco. Well, you certainly wound up in the right place, and we're looking forward to having you come down here. So thank you for your time, David. It was great to speak with you, and perhaps over the next 7 weeks when we do another one with you and Christina together, maybe we'll make it a Zoom just so we can all like
that would be awesome.
Yeah, so as we get closer to the event, we're going to work toward building this to a Zoom call.
I think that would be great. It would be fantastic to be able to use that platform to be able to engage with everybody, because it's fun, it's simple. You get to see us, you get to see us being silly. Well, maybe that's not such a good thing.
Hey, you're having too much fun. That's what people will say. So for those of for the presenters and our special guests that you've had a chance to hear about, what do you know all of these folks? I know Christina told me that she worked with Tara Strong recently.
Yeah. Christina's career is just so wonderfully taking off right now. It's so exciting to see and watch. And this is somebody who has, really struggled in so many different ways in her life to get to this place. But it's just like it's all popping now, and I'm so grateful to be able to, be a part of that in a way to help. Sometimes she'll just, ask me to take a listen to this or take a look at that or help her with this or help her with that. So just on that level, as a friend and coach, to be able to get her to just stretch things out a little and find nuances in a character is really exciting. So yeah, she knows a lot of these people because she's LA based and has been for a while, and is starting to get to know them because of being in the same
town.
Not only the same town, but the same shows.
Yeah, that is incredible. I just, there was something about Christina the first time that I spoke with her, and I just thought, she seems like she's too good to be true. Like, really, the epitome of such a nice person that is so passionate and hungry for, just the love of this work. And it seems to sustain her, and the fact that you guys created this academy, I think it really bodes well. I'm so excited to have all of these voiceover masters in terms of animation: Debbie Derryberry, Tara Strong, E.G. Daly, Christina Malizia. We've got James Arnold Taylor, David Kay. They're at the top of their game right now, and the fact that you guys are going to be handling the animation in the afternoon. I think it's come to this point in VOMastery where I really want to explore the parts of me that I haven't really tapped into, and that's the character side of me, because I've always had this sort of cool persona. You do big live shows and you can't be shaken. I want to tap into my vulnerabilities and my craziness and all of that, and just sort of let loose a little. So I think that's probably my motivation behind creating an animation and character focused day, because I want to learn more, and what better way to do it than to actually just be in the room with everyone.
And I've always told everybody that the more you stretch and that the more you understand and move deeply into character work, the easier your commercial and narration work will be. They dovetail into each other incredibly so, and it's that sense of really moving deeply, that level of investment and engagement in everything that you say, that can make that your commercial work and your narration work pop. And I mean, people who have gone on to do wonderful things through character all of a sudden find that their booking a whole lot more commercial and narration as well, which is, I think, is no coincidence at all. I think
That's crazy, but that is truly my goal, because I'm not going to be able to compete with these great actors that do animation. But if I can take the lessons of building and working in a character, it'll give me the freedom to maybe book some more commercials, which is something that I don't do a lot of, you know. So it's a win-win. So when you find someone like me that secretly wants to just, you know, it's that fly on the wall experience. That's what I want. I want to put these people in a room, see what happens, and see what I can take away from that. So.
Well, maybe you could be more than a fly, Randy. Maybe we can get you up there working too.
I'll be a spider.
Ooh, said the spider to the fly.
That's right. Very nice.
All right.
Well, thank you for spending a little bit of your Friday night with us, David. I really appreciate it. I'm going to wrap things up from here, and I look forward to talking to you and Christina again, and of course seeing you November 11th at Voiceover Mastery in Studios.
Likewise, Randy.
California.
I'm really looking forward to it.
Thank you very much. All right, have a good one. All right, that was great fun talking to David Rosenthal from GVAA. Let's talk to Shovita, see if she's got another question for our last 5-6 minutes here.
Hey, Randy. Yes, I am back on the line. And man, that was such a great session with you and David. I was so happy he was able to join us. And he will be joining us, of course, next week. Let's roll into a couple more questions while we got some time here. So we've got someone who wants to know, what is the best marketing strategy? Is that cold calls, emailing? What do you recommend?
Wow. Well, you know, for me, I have certain things that I like to do, okay? So as a voice actor, you know what your money voice is, you know what your you know, where you really can rock the mic. And so when I think about that and I read Variety or I read the trades and I see something's coming up or this is happening, I'll reach out to my agents and I'll suggest that they, you know, put a call out to them or a note, and that has garnered me some great auditions. But sometimes you might just want to send them a letter, send them an email, and send them a link with the perfect VO that they might want to give 2 seconds. The key, I think, to writing an email that will actually get looked at and responded to, keep it under 4 lines. It's got to be the shortest paragraph ever. So if you have ever edited anything in your life, you know, that is just like the economy of words, figure out how you can say what you want to say to get them to hit play on that button. But don't waste their time. The worst thing that you can do is to write someone and launch into like a half-a-page email. Anyone that's busy, anyone that is successful is not going to take the time. Unless it's like, you know, their best friend from childhood and you put that in the subject line. And then they know they're going to have to answer to their friends, so they're going to give you the 5 minutes. But if they don't know you and you're reaching out to them, I would say keep the email short, intriguing, and just get them to hit play. So that's about as good a cold call as you can get. Stalking people, finding them in the street, never recommended. All right, what else?
Let's see, we have, what is the best way to determine the genre or genres I am better at? How can I tell, and how long does it take to find out what I am better at? So that's a 3-point question.
Yeah.
What's the best way to determine the genre?
Mm-hmm.
How can I tell I'm good at it, and how long does it take to know that I'm good?
Okay, so how do you determine the genre? If you have studied with voice acting coaches, you see very specific types of copy, whether it's commercial, narration, whether it can be industrial or historical or long-form animation, promo, which is what I would say my bailiwick is, imaging, if you came out of radio and you wanted to be the voice of radio stations, that would be imaging. And then what else? Well, for me, live announce. How do you know what your genre is? It's when you get excited, when you actually feel in your heart, in the middle of your belly, that everything just feels right, that you're enjoying reading this copy more than the piece you read before or the next piece. So if you take these genres, have a commercial, a promo, a trailer, an announce piece, and a radio imaging piece, and they're all very specific to the genre, you pick up each after you have studied enough to know what the difference is between reading a piece of commercial copy and reading a radio imaging piece. And that just takes a little bit of study and research and reading and listening to VO Buzz Weekly, as I've suggested before. And if you have people around you that you truly trust their opinion, if you're reading something in a genre that you really are good at, they're going to react. They're going to go, wow, that sounded really good. They may not tell you if things don't sound good. They may try to be nice, like, oh, that was good, that was nice. But it's when you see something in their eyes, when you're listening back, and you know in your heart, I really love that copy. I would like to be better at reading that copy. Then maybe that's the genre you should be looking at and working toward getting good enough where you can actually create a demo, and that demo will help you get bookings. So it's really, it's what turns you on, what gets you excited. For people that do animation, that's the excitement. I don't have that. I don't look at a drawing of a creature and then read the descriptives about it and then have to think about and find that voice placement in my head, in my heart, so that it'll actually have meaning behind it, and where in my mouth I'm going to hold the character. Is it going to be up here? Or is it going to be here? Or is it going to be here? I mean, that doesn't thrill or excite me. It's not what I will ever earn my money in. Now, if you're talking to me and you go, live from Los Angeles, you know, that's when I get excited. When I know I'm going to go live to the world and I'm in charge of the words that introduce the host and the presenters and the people, that is when I'm in my happy place. So, all right, we're coming up on the top of the hour. Do you have one more quick question, or because I know we started a minute or two late? You have another question, Shovita? And I hope I answered that other question to their satisfaction. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a great answer, actually. And the last question we got in, I think you would be the perfect person to answer. It is, what advice do you have for a female starting out in the VO world?
Well, I love that. If you know anything about me, you know I go above and beyond to support women in the industry. I do support guys. Why do I support guys? Because they're some of my best friends in the industry. I have always done the kinds of jobs that guys do. I was a DJ on the radio. I was always the only woman. I started in live announce. There were no other women doing it. So I like to hang out in the territory that the guys hang out in. Trailers would be that area. Melissa's the only one that's actually booked a trailer. I haven't booked a national trailer like she has. So, but anyway, so I would say find a mentor, find what you love, and the people that are supposed to be there to help you on your journey will be there to help you. And I hope you'll come and join us at VOMastery. Maybe we can really inspire you and take you to where you need to go to make your dream a reality. So Voiceover Mastery, our first webinar, is going to come to a close. We do have right now the general admission price for Friday. And you've already heard who we have: James Arnold Taylor, David Kay, Ann Ganguza, Melissa Disney, Debbie Derryberry, Kathleen Ronald with Clutternomics, E.G. Daly, Christina Malizia, Tara Strong, David Rosenthal, yours truly, a top LA agent, J. Michael Collins, who is one of the finest gentlemen in the industry and has so much to teach us about how to be a super successful entrepreneur voiceover artist. So that's who the lineup is. So if you want to get in on our Thursday evening I think there's only about 14 spots left in that class. We had 20. So there are 14 places left. This is our first webinar. I have a feeling it will sell out within a week. The total between Thursday and Friday right now for you as a VOMastery webinar listener, $5.99 for 2 days of VOMastery. There are seats filling up fast. This is a special code to get these prices from Shovita. She will be following up with your emails and sending you all a link so that you can join us. We also have a hotel package. There's another event going on that weekend, as you probably know. That's Voiceover and the Voiceover Arts Awards are Saturday and Sunday, the 12th and 13th. So my event is Friday with a few spots for the Thursday. It's an entire weekend of learning. So those of you that are coming in from out of town, look at our packages. Sportsmen's Lodge, they gave us such an incredible rate. And you need to know, for the event, no charge for parking. Any other hotel or anywhere else you go to in LA, for an entire day you're going to be paying parking. Ours is free to all of our attendees. So, all right, listen, you guys, we're going to see you next Friday. I've got Debbie Derryberry. I have David Rosenthal returning next week. So save up your questions. Tell your friends about how the evening went. I hope you enjoyed it. Please post on Facebook if you enjoyed it, what you liked. Of course, if you didn't like something, feel free, say it. I can always delete it if it's horrible. But no, I do want to know how you feel about everything, because that's how we can learn and make this process better. So I want to say thank you so much. Bless you guys for tuning in. Have a fabulous weekend, and we'll talk to you soon from Voiceover Mastery 2016. Good night.
I guarantee you, this day is going to rock your world. Especially when you are fueling your passion.
Hello, I'm Randy Thomas, the founder and executive producer of Voiceover Mastery.
It's the 63rd Annual Tony Awards. Please welcome John Mayer.
It's year 3 and we've come a long way. After 2 years in Fort Myers, the Sportsmen's Lodge in Studio City, California will serve as the perfect backdrop for what promises to be the most transformative and entertaining VOMastery experience ever. A one-day event that will inspire you to take your voiceover career to the next level and beyond. Once again, we've handpicked this year's lineup of special guests and presenters just for you.
So much of my work as a voice actor is doubling celebrities when they're not available.
Ladies and gentlemen, your host for tonight's Emmys, Jimmy Kimmel.
He's not naughty. He's just a baby. Come a little closer, and I'll give you a nice big kiss. I'm all about big hair, big shoes, and big attitude.
Hello, I'm Jess Honnell, and I play Cedric on Sophia the First, and we're here at the red carpet.
A fabulous who's who list representing some of the world's most successful voiceover performers and industry experts.
Please welcome the 44th President of the United States of America, Barack Obama.
Join us for one magical day that you must be a part of. It's an incredible lineup of top voice industry professionals, coaches, experts, and mentors. There's a limited number of seats, so make sure to reserve yours now. Finally, VOMastery comes to Southern California, Friday, November 11th at the Sportsmen's Lodge Hotel in Studio City, California. And it won't be the same without you.
You see all these pros in the business who give you the helpful tips.
And all the pros that you have instant access to, and their ability and willingness to provide additional information to help your career grow.
There's people from all over the world here in the voiceover business.
Gather knowledge, gain confidence, be inspired, Let your talent move you forward. Use your voice. Live your dream. See you there and break a lip.